Rule number 1 of climbing: don't climb in the rain.
Weather's not looking so good, eh?
Not so great.
The other day we found this crag called Mujeres, I think, and it's got a really nice line there. I tried this line, Ibis Alba, I think it's called, 7C. Today, but
It might rain.
It's been raining the last 2 days. I'm hoping the road is dry. Can only find it, eh?
Do you think it's going to rain today?
Yes, 100%.
For the last 2 years, we've been living off-grid, on the road, slowly trying to climb our way around the world with our kids. 15 countries in, and we're currently climbing in Andorra, a totally new to us country with surprisingly good climbing for such a small area. The only problem this week is the rain.
People are like, oh, it's so cool. You climb and hike with your kids and your husband. This is me climbing and hiking with my kids and my husband. Oh my God, I'm fit, but the 3 of them are just like another level.
All right, Speedy Gonzalez.
You were way behind us.
I know.
But you can still see us, so well done.
Well done, thanks. What's the verdict?
Well, it looks dry, except for maybe a wee bit on the top. Det är hemma den tror jag.
Mommy,
Yes, I am.
can you hang me up my handsome?
You want me to hang you up?
Yes. I clicked in.
Right, don't go anywhere. We'll put this route up for you, okay? Okay.
It's disappearing.
Vertus Petrea. This will be Arlo route 43.
Alonia.
Arlo project, eh?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is nice too. All I have to do is do that.
Look at this kid. She's ready to climb. She's like, I'm climbing. Whether anyone's coming to give me a belay or not, I'm climbing.
Okay. And here, remember you're on the top rope. So just commit, okay? You're on the top rope.
Little bit left, yeah, and then straight up. That's it. Chalk, chalk, chalk. You're doing good.
Easy. Now look at all the chalky bit go to the right. Yeah? Get your feet up high and put the next chalk. Yeah, that's another chalk.
Chop your feet up.
Up. Feet up. Remember the sticky. Landing sticky. Yeah, that's my goal.
Yes, yeah. Yes, all the way up. Yeah.
Big one, swells your right hand. Yeah, and then it. Where's break, see? See how big that is? 2 hands.
Well done. It was a hard one.
Whoa.
Foot on and then big move. Ready?
Way.
That's the one. Yes. Way nice.
That was fun, but yeah.
Truth be told, this route might have been a little too hard, but they insisted this was the route that they wanted to climb. And some wise sage of an older parent told me once that when your kid asks you to do something for themselves, it's good to say yes, even if you think it's too hard for them, because their asking is a sign that they believe they can do it. And if you shut them down, however well-meaning, the underlying message they get is that you don't think they're capable and they might not ask again. So anyway, here we are, trying to support their belief in themselves and their abilities with the occasional gentle pull on the rope. Go on, buddy. Go on, darling. So good. All those press-ups in the morning are pushing off, eh? A lot of climbing is learning to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Whether it's exposure, fear, pumped forearms, or even sore toes squished into climbing shoes, you have to develop the mental tenacity not to not feel any of those things, but to be able to exist alongside them, to keep moving forward with them. Acceptance of discomfort. Sometimes it's easier said than done. I'm finding the climbing in Andorra is giving me a challenging new discomfort in terms of style. You see, most of the climbing here is on granite, which is quickly becoming one of my all-time favourite rock types, but it also comes with new challenges like jamming finger cracks or no visible footholds, always a joy. So instead you have to smear your rubber against the flat wall and exert pressure and core strength to move upwards, and it's a full body style of technical climbing that I'm simultaneously loving and sometimes terrified of, given the feeling of insecurity, despite how sticky the granite is. Something we're about to find out stays surprisingly sticky even when it starts bucketing down. It's getting dark.
It's a big cloud there. Don't know if I've got enough time to go up, but I'm going to try it.
Go for it. Climb fast, climb fast.
Speedy Gonzales.
Oh, AS sweetheart, that was a massive understatement, because as soon as Harden left the ground, the heavens opened. Like I said earlier, the first rule of climbing is you don't climb in the rain. Among other reasons, it turns the holds into a Vaseline factory with absolutely zero friction, but since the wall is overhanging, we figured Harden would stay dry enough to give it a really good go. But we figured wrong. Just chucking it.
I got it clean to there.
Progress.
Massive progress. I'm happy.
Happy and wet. Where's your dance moves, Daddy? How do you say got me?
How do you write dot?
G-O-T.
G.
I don't think I ever feel cleaner than a hot shower after being so dirty and cold and wet from climbing.
Malam ini kita makan sederhana, Indomie.
Yeah.
Indomie kalau cari sponsor, kabarin saya ya. Saya keliling Eropa ini, makan Indomie tetap. Jangan lupa Indomie kalau cari sponsor.
Sponsor kita.
Fried onions.
Fried onion.
Bawang goreng. Well remembered, Aya.
Nggak bisa makan Indomie tanpa bawang goreng.
Sober with whiskey on my breath. Sounds of miracle running through my head. With you I was taken.
The last window before the Southern Ocean's filled with icebergs.
Yeah.
Well, leave some for Daddy there. Don't finish it all.
I only brought 2 forks. I realised that was a mistake.
You always
So give me any food for Mummy and Daddy. Lagi dong?
on. Circle.
Feeling good?
I'm feeling okay. Top move is hard, but I'll give it a go.
Go for it.
After the rain, the undercut is still a bit damp and make the sections a bit sketchy. And I also discovered in about 20 seconds from now that the top crux holes are also damp.
I think we're gonna have to leave that one and come back another time.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I'll leave the drawer on that.
I don't mind it. I don't think we can bring the kids back here another day.
No, I figured out the move and
Yeah.
I really want to do it. It's a nice route. It's hard, gosh.
You want me to belay you? Yeah. You're ready to go? I think we need to have a couple of days rest
Yeah, I need it.
and then come back.
Travelling and climbing as a family, where everyone's enjoyment is equally important, means we only give our projects 2 days max before giving it a rest. The act of climbing nowadays has become almost more important than the result of climbing, and while it's disappointing to leave unfinished business, the rock isn't going anywhere, but time is.